How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Rainbow Star, coming at you with another Dokkan Battle video, and today we're doing some more tier lists. We're starting out with category tier lists, and I'm doing the fusion category, because obviously it just got its newest buff, the most likely second best unit in the game, it seems like. I can see the argument for him being number 1, so that obviously can tell you where he's going to be on this list. But I can see that you guys really enjoy these tier list videos, and I really enjoy making them, so I want to do more of them for you guys. They're some of the best videos on my channel when it comes to views. My first one ever is the best video in terms of views on my channel. It has over 1,100 at this point, so thank you guys very much. So let's get right into this. So I just wanted to get some honorable mentions out of the way. I have 12 tabs for here. So some people might be upset just straight out of the gate for this, but basically tied for 11, but more like 12 and 11. For 12 we have EZA Tech Gotenks, and 11 we have Gotenks Xeno base form. So the reason I have them down here is because Gotenks, he has no defensive viability really, because the way he links up so well with the top tier units in this category that it makes him not as good. If he didn't link up as well as he did with some of these units, he would definitely be higher, because you want to get that 11 key super attack with him, because that's his hardest hitting attack, as well as it gives him defense if you can get less than that. But then so many units on this category have both Over in a Flash and Fused Fighter that this guy is starting out at 11 key. So it makes it very hard for him to get that. And then, yes, he hits very hard, but he could hit harder and not be broken. But then this guy, he's one of the newer units that just came to Global. He gets 70% attack and defense, and then 20% attack and defense with each super attack performed up to 80%, which is definitely very, very solid, and then launches an additional super attack if the enemy's super attack is sealed, which allows him to work very well with the number 10 unit for this category right here, who I have, that was weird, who I have as Gohanks Xeno. So the reason I like this guy better is because he seals on super attack instead of lowering attack and defense, which I think this is a lot more valuable on stuff like Super Battle Road and stuff like that. He gets an additional super attack if the enemy's attack is down, which isn't the best. A lot of bosses don't allow that. A lot of bosses don't allow sealing either. But yeah, those two guys run very well together. So we're going to throw him at number 10 down there. He does, I think he, obviously these units do well because everybody here has Fused Fighter, so that's a 2-key link that everybody shares, so that allows him to do it very well. What does hold him back is that he doesn't have Fierce Battle or Shattering the Limit because he is only an SSR, so that means he only has SSR stats down here, so he only has 9,700 defense, but he does have 13,500 attack, which is a very solid number for just an SSR. But I think this guy is very, very valuable for Super Battle Road because a lot of the top tier units can't really tank super attacks super well. So him getting seals off allows those guys to not take as much damage. So it's definitely very, very helpful to have this guy on the team. So I have him at number 10. Number 9, we have this EZA Super Saiyan Gotenks. So this guy, I didn't really know much about before putting down some units for this. But this guy's actually very, very good, especially for Super Battle Road because of the second part of his passive. He does raise attack and defense on super attack and have a medium chance to stun, which does help him out a lot. Because that is a 30% attack and defense raise for that one turn, as well as the, what is that, a 30% chance? Yeah, a 30% chance to stun for 2 turns. So that's definitely very helpful, again, because some of these cards, they can't take hits the best, but they deal so much damage that it makes you just fly through the event anyway. So he gets 80% attack and defense, which is very solid for a fusion unit, being able to defend and attack fairly well. But then he gives 1 key and 40% attack and defense when facing 2 or more enemies. So in Super Battle Road, when you take this kind of stuff on, like the units that he's giving 40% attack and defense to, like the LR Blue Gogeta, the AGL Blue Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Super Gogeta, all these kind of guys. Like these guys, like they hit so hard anyway, giving them a 40% attack buff as well as with defense, allowing them to defend pretty well. This guy's definitely very, very valuable when it comes to Super Battle Road. So I have him at number 9. So number 8, number 8 and number 7, I kind of had difficulty where I wanted to place them, but at number 8, I have Super Saiyan Gotenks and Ghost. He is a free-to-play unit and is this high on the list, so that tells you how top-heavy the fusion category can be. So he also raises attack and defense for 1 turn, just like our last guy, but he has a high chance of stunning on his super attack, which I think definitely helps put him above this Super Saiyan Gotenks, even though this guy could possibly defend a fair amount better. This guy's, obviously his stats aren't as good because he is free to play, but he is a free to play rainbow. You don't need to pull as many of him, so that definitely helps his value, I believe, and ups him up a little bit higher. So he does randomly change key spheres to rainbow, and then recovers 7777 HP and gets 30% attack and defense per rainbow key sphere obtained. And then he recovers candy, which really isn't, like, that doesn't really matter that much. So the randomly changing key spheres to rainbow definitely helps out because we have LR Gogeta on the team, and we have 2 of the best LRs in the game on this team. So it allows them to super attack a lot easier and get obviously higher key super attacks to do as much damage as possible. And then if you have rainbow key spheres left over for this guy, it can get his attack and defense up. From what I've noticed, this guy can usually get at least 2 or 3 rainbow key spheres. So that's definitely going to be very helpful. And then that little bit of HP regeneration for each one definitely can help out a lot. I've actually had that save me a couple times on Super Battle Road before. And then he has Prepared for Battle and Fuse Fighter, which does very, very well on this team. And then Shattering the Limit. He is really the only Shattering the Limit unit, but doesn't really hold him back because he's not too much of a damage dealer anyway. So I have this guy at number 8. And then at number 7, we have Super Gogeta. So I know some people might have this guy higher up, but the reason I have this guy lower, and the same thing with the STR Gotenks, is because he has a better version of him of the same name. So it kind of holds him back. But this guy, once he gets his Easy A, he might be number 3 on this list. We'll see. But this guy's absolutely amazing. So he lowers attack and defense on the super attack, which definitely helps out, especially in Super Battle Road, stuff like that. But then he gets type effective against all types and 120% attack. So, and his links are godly. So this guy is absolutely amazing. He's going to be supering every, like, you basically can't miss a super attack with this guy because he has Fuse Fighter, Prepared for Battle, and Over in a Flash. So this guy's absolutely incredible. But yeah, this guy is definitely held back because he does have a stronger version, but once he does get his Easy A, probably next year at the way that they're doing this, this guy is definitely going to be extremely, extremely powerful. So this guy we have at number 7. So for number 6, this is where we start, at number 5, we really start getting into like the big boys. But at number 6, we have the physical Super Saiyan Gotenks. I have this guy above Intelligent Super Gogeta because of his defensive viability, and still he has the exact same attack buff. He's just not super effective against all types. But he gives himself extra ki, which he doesn't really need, having Fuse Fighter and Prepared for Battle, but it definitely helps out every once in a while. And then he gets 30% attack and defense up to 120 with each super attack performed. So if you give this guy additionals, it definitely helps out. And he seals super attacks on his super attack. So it definitely helps out a lot in Super Battle Road and stuff like that, or anywhere that you can really use this. This guy's a very, very strong unit. He's really strong all around. Like, his stats are pretty good as well. But yeah, this defensive viability, sealing super attacks, I think is stronger than lowering attack and defense at this point in the game. But yeah, this guy is just a very solid all-around unit. If you use him if you get far enough into the fight, he can get up to 120% defense, which is not bad right there. Does it actually have... No, it doesn't have anything. And he also goes up to SA 15. So this guy is definitely better than the STR one, and so that's why the STR one is down at number 9, and this guy is at number 6. So, as you guys may have just seen, at number 5, we have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This is where some people might get a little bit salty having him at 5, but you guys, I think, will understand by the time I get to the upper units of this list, maybe basically just the next one, because it really was between 4 and 5 for this guy. So, greatly raises his attack and defense for 1 turn, which is a 50% defense buff, so he actually does get a little bit of defense. He was the first fusion category leader. He gets 120% attack and lowers extreme class allies' attack and defense by 20%, and then he has a high chance of evading enemies' super attacks and countering with tremendous power. So the thing is, this high chance, usually that's a 50% chance. On this guy, it's 70. So 7 out of every 10 super attacks that this guy gets hit with, he's countering, which can be so valuable. Like, that's... If this guy had 50% defense and then got his an extra 50% defense raise after his super attack, he'd probably be number... He'd easily be number 4, because the thing is, he can get smacked up on what is it called, on normal attacks, because he doesn't have a defensive buff. But this can help him out a little bit. Once he super attacks, he can tank a little bit better. But yeah, that ability is so broken. If somebody had him higher on the list, I can't really like argue that. Like, I'll be like, okay, I can see exactly where you're coming from. But this guy, he hits super hard. He has this one of the most broken abilities in the entire game. He lets everybody else actually tank a little bit better when you're facing an extreme class enemy, and then can hit pretty hard himself. So we have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta at number 5. And number 4, we have EZA STR Super Gogeta. So the reasoning behind having this guy over Super Gogeta and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is because of his defensive viability. And he can also, I feel like he hits harder, and especially because of the type effective against attacks effective against all types. He gets 77% attack and defense, and then an extra 7% per Rainbow Key Sphere obtained. I can see he usually gets about 2, I would think, which definitely helps him out. He lowers attack and defense on his super attack. Obviously his link set is insane. A lot of these cards have the exact same link set. At least having Super Saiyan, Prepared for Battle, Over in a Flash, Fierce Battle, and Fused Fighter. I think that's like basically half, like most of the link set for every unit on this category. It's just sometimes you don't have Over in a Flash. That's basically it. But yeah, this guy's defensively isn't bad. He usually gets, I feel like, around like 100k defensive stat or something like that, because of how high his stats are. Because he does have an S-class potential system, getting 7,000 in each stat. This guy is absolutely insane. But yeah, this guy, I think he really talks for himself. He speaks for himself, where types effective against all types, solid defensively, lowers attack and defense. I think this guy is just tremendous. So we have him at number 4. And then I think everybody knows exactly how this tier list is going to finish out. So I think I'm just going to throw them in now. We have AGL Super Saiyan Gogeta. We have Physical LR Gogeta, and then we have the new Super Saiyan Blue LR Gogeta. So this guy, obviously, in this state, he's like extremely good, straight out of the gate. 100% attack and defense, attacks effective against all types, a 25% chance to dodge, and then transforms on the 5th turn, which is not bad at all. You can see that sometimes in Super Battle Road. Legendary Goku event, that instant, like, you don't even have to worry about it. It's just going to happen anyway. But once he gets to this form, this guy is like LR level with the stuff that he's able to do. 130% attack and defense, a 50% chance to dodge, and guaranteed crits. So, and then he greatly raises his attack for 3 turns, which is a 50% attack buff. This guy is insane. And then he's the second best leader. Well, he's probably the best leader for the fusion category, with 170% to attack and then 130 to HP and defense. And then movie heroes, all Gogetas are on movie heroes, so he gives the 150 to HP and defense. This guy is just absolutely insane. Guaranteed crits is just crazy. 50% chance to dodge is something that you can really rely on. So this guy is absolutely insane. Awesome link set. This guy is obviously just under our LR boys. So these guys have aged, I think, very well. Most people talk about them in this form because you don't really see the Super Gogeta form all that much. But these guys are still so good. 120% attack and defense with LR stats, almost 1450 defense, over 20,000 attack when rainbowed. These guys are just absolutely incredible. The rainbow key sphere is making it easy for them to super attack, which is why Gotenks and Ghost is on this list, allowing them to super attack so much easier. Being able to fuse from the 6th turn of battle when HP is 50% or less, giving you a full heal at one time. Then he gets 150% attack and defense with attacks effective against all types, and the 3 key from Rainbow Key Spheres, making it so easy to get his 18 key super attack. This guy is amazing. Awesome leader skills still to this day. Lowers attack and defense on his 18 key super. This guy is just so good. He's on a lot more categories than some of these other units, which definitely helps him out a lot here. You can see him almost every time you do the Legendary Goku event, and he dominates. Especially if you're doing like any type of challenge runs, like physical types, he demolishes STR UI Goku. Then he has type advantage over Int UI Goku, so he's taking double digits most of the time. This guy is absolutely incredible. But then we have the big boy himself right here. This guy, second best unit in the game, in my opinion. One of the hardest hitting cards in the game. His attack stat, like, rainbowed his best situation. He gets a 9.2 million attack stat, effective against everybody. Like, this guy is just absolutely insane. The new leader of the Last Resort category and the Fusion category. Last Resort being one of the best categories in the game. Probably the best, maybe 2. Behind, like, Transformation Boost, maybe. Because every new unit is on that category. But this guy's insane. He's solid before he transforms, doing different things in the 3rd slot. But then once he transforms, boys, once he transforms, is he insane. 77% attack and defense, gets 5 key when he launches a super attack. To get an 18 key super, you only need 13 key. 13 key on a unit that has Over in a Flash and Fused Fighter, especially on this team. You're starting out with those key links most of the time. So all you need is 2 key. You need to get him 1 red key sphere and he gets an 18 key super attack. He's absolutely insane. But then he builds up attack and defense with each time he attacks. So which is up to 77% attack and defense, which isn't just 154 as you would think. It's actually 213.3, which is insane. Like, on an LR of this level with 22,600 attack and 11,000 defense isn't bad. His defense could be higher, but he does get a defense raise on his super attack. If you can get a second super attack, he's taking double digits against basically anything that's not a super attack. He's effective against all types in the 1st and 2nd attacker in the turn. Launches an additional super attack with a high chance of evading enemies super attack, with evading enemies attacks when the 3rd attacker in the turn. And then he has his active skill that you can use the turn after he comes out if you're facing an enemy that has 50% HP or less. So it's usually a finishing blow. So this guy's absolutely insane. Link set's godly. If you use the active skill in a different slot, he gains different abilities. Like, if this guy, you use it in the 3rd slot and the opponent survives, you can put him back into the 1st slot or 2nd slot, and then he gains that additional guaranteed super attack. But then if you use the active skill, also gain the 50% chance to dodge. Some people have been making fun of the truth because he thinks that you can dodge UI Goku. I thought that was really funny too. But if you use the active skill in the first slot or the second slot, he is he's effective against all types. So yeah, guys, there it is. That is my fusion tier list right here. Yeah, guys, I think this is pretty good. I think 6 to 10. Well, yeah, like 6 and 7 you could probably swap around, and then from 8 to 10 you could really have a couple different units in there. You could have this guy in there. You could have Tech Go Tanks in there. I was thinking about having Pandel because she's like the only real support unit, but she only gives 30% attack, which is the craziest. But there it is, you guys. That's my tier list for today. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out all the affiliate links in the description. And till next time, you guys. Deuces.